everyone, welcome back to another tutorial. Hope you guys are doing good. In today's video, I am going to talk about the tie and dye print which is used in the bandhani and the shibori art forms. So let us see how we can do the tie and dye print on our garments. So to bring the tie and dye effect, I will be using watercolor and this kind of watercolor pencils. So you can use either watercolor from the palette or the tubes. It's all up to you, and let us see how we can develop the prints, and I will show you some popular types. And here is the first one. I will form the pattern first using a pencil. The pencil strokes will help you to put the colors within the prints, and don't forget to evenly distribute the prints all over your garment. Using a very thin brush, put your colors uniformly all over the swatch, and don't forget to leave the white space blank. I mean, don't put any color over there. And yeah, you can see how the pencil lines is guiding me to put the colors nicely. To add more depth to your print, you can mix some black with your base color and apply it along with the prints. You can see I'm just putting little black here and there. So yeah, this will give some depth to your print. Okay, let us move to the second one. It's quite interesting. Take your brush and dip it in the water nicely, but you can always wipe the excess water on the tissue paper and draw this kind of invisible water lines. So I am putting the water lines in a crisscross pattern, and after that I will immediately put some colors, and the colors will flow along the lines of the water. So you can see how the print is turning to be very interesting. The water line is acting as a guide for the colors to flow, so you can experiment this technique with various types of lines and patterns. In the third one, I am putting a very light wash of the color on this swatch card. Let your base color dry nicely, or you can use a tissue paper to absorb the excess water. Now take your watercolor pencils and draw the pattern which you like. I am drawing something in oval shape, and make sure the pencil you are using is water soluble, because after this I will be using water. Now take your wet brush and move along the patterns. Don't smudge everything together, I mean leave the white space in between. You can always use watercolor to put here and there to bring some more emphasis on the prints, because in the tie and dye effect there are lots of contrast in the prints. Some are very light and some are very dark, so all together comes out very nicely, and this is the look which we have to make in our sketches. For the fourth type, I will show you a gradient type of the tie and dye, which will have a gradient look to it. I mean, it will either go from lightest to the darkest or darkest to the lightest. To bring the gradation, water is very important. The more you dilute your color with water, the less saturated it will be. So change the wash of your color as you go below. I mean, you can understand that how I'm using some dark colors at the top, and as I'm moving below, I'm just minimizing the saturation of the color. And yeah, this is quite easy. You just need to practice by diluting your color and putting them on the swatch card and seeing how you can apply this. For the last one, I'm using this kind of watercolor pencils to form the pattern. You can see how I'm doing this kind of circular pattern, and watercolor pencils are a good option for watercolor because to do this kind of detailed work we may not be comfortable with watercolor brush. And after you are satisfied with the pencil strokes, you can use your wet brush to dilute the colors and develop the pattern more nicely, but don't smudge everything together. Leave some white space in between. You can also use a brush to pick up the colors directly from the tip of the pencil and use it somewhere in between very randomly. So guys, I hope you all understood very clearly. Moving to the illustration, I will be doing different types of the tie and dye prints over the different sections in this illustration. So let your watercolor base dry nicely, then move to your pencil colors and do the patterns. Be very careful to follow the grain line of the garment while putting the placement of the tie and dye effects. If you are referring to any particular image or any fabric swatch, study it very nicely and see how you can do the placement of the tie and dye patterns. I mean, tie and dye patterns can be of various types. Some are all over the fabric or some are at particular places, leaving some gap in between. So yes, you need to take special care as how and where you are going to do the placement of the particular tie and dye pattern or the tie and dye effect in your illustrations. So here you can see after I'm done with my pencil work, I'm putting some more watercolor here and there to put some more emphasis on the prints. To apply some minimalistic shadows, I'm using the grey because black can be too harsh for this kind of lively colors. In the kurti, I want to do the gradation effect of the tie and dye, and I will go from the darkest to the lightest, which I have shown you earlier also in the swatch card. And you can always use a pencil color to give you a guideline. The pencil strokes will help you to fill in the colors nicely, and you can put the pencil strokes at an equal distance. So guys, let me know in the comment section below how you liked the techniques which I have shown here, And also you can use these techniques in your own illustration and form your own variations of the tie and dye effect. And you can tag me over Instagram. I would love to see your artworks, and use the hashtag artstudio by Shrabani, which will be easier for me to come across your artworks. So I have to do some more detailing on this first illustration, but I will let the base color dry very nicely, because we have used lots of water to dilute the colors and give this kind of watery effect. So it will take some time for the base color to settle in very well. Meanwhile, you can see that in the second illustration I have already given a light wash of the color, and after that base color dries, I'm using the invisible water line technique, which I have shown you in the swatch card also, to form this kind of pattern. You can give some more strokes of the brush here and there to give some more dimensions to your pattern, and overall this will look very nice, like a tie and dye effect. Also, I used some black at the intersections of the lines, you can see here, and this will immediately lift up your whole look. And you can always experiment this technique using white as well, or shades of gray and black. For the last tie and dye effect, I want to use the pencil color to form this kind of circular look of the tie and dye effect. And using the pencil color, you can give your strokes however you want, and do it slowly. Take your time to form the pattern you want, also leaving some gap in between. I mean, we have to show the white space in between. After you are satisfied with your print, take your wet brush and move along the pencil strokes to dilute the color. Now to add some more depth, I'm using some more black in the pattern. I'm using the colors directly using my brush from the tip of the watercolor pencil. So my base color work has dried, and now I will be putting some detailing over this illustration. Nothing fancy about here. I'm just adding some outline using the black pencil, and I will do some golden border using a golden glitter pen. Guys, all the list of the materials used in this video is given in the description box below along with the Amazon links, so you can go and check them out. So here I am using a grey pencil to give the outline and the folds in the garment, and I'm not using black much because I want to keep this very simple and to put more emphasis on the prints rather than the shadows or the folds. That's why I have kept the design very simple and minimalistic. I hope you guys understood everything nicely and how you can develop your own prints. So keep on practicing and keep on experimenting with your own art supplies, and I will be making more of this series like part 2 and part 3 and so on, and I will show you more ways and more mediums to explore. So lastly, I'm using the black pencil to mark the folds, but very little because I have already used the grey pencil to mark the folds nicely, and using the black I'm just putting a little bit of the emphasis. You can always give some touch up to your prints using the base pencil color. And yes, I think I'm done with this illustration. I hope you all enjoyed this tutorial, and if you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you all very soon with another interesting tutorial. Till then, take care. Bye.